Today we will discuss about compensated induction motor, and this class is important for 5th sem diploma electrical students. So this subject is utilization of electrical energy and traction. So let us continue with compensated induction motor. This is an improvement of the plain induction motor. It is called as no lag motor also. It gives unity or slightly leading power factor over the entire range of leads. The primary winding is placed on the rotor and the secondary winding on the stator. The stator also has an additional winding known as commutator winding, whose EMFs are collected by the brushes from the commutator and injected into secondary winding in such a way that power factor improvement is affected. The power factor variation according to load of the motor is as in the diagram, which also shows power factor characteristics of other AC motors for comparison. So let us have a look to the diagram. So 2.16. So the figure is this one. Yes. Now in this diagram, as you can see, there is no lag motor, and the other diagram, let me just figure it out also. So this one is your for no lag motor, this one is for repulsion motor, right? So this is the graph between your load percentage and lagging or power factor, you can simply say. Now let us discuss it further. The next motor is about synchronous motor. The synchronous motor, it runs at a constant speed called synchronous speed, which is given by the relation ms is equal to 120 f by p. The speed of the motor does not depend upon the load. A graph between armature current and field current of synchronous motor is in the diagram 2.17. This graph is also called as V curve of the synchronous motor. It is clear from the figure that the power factor at which the motor will work will depend on the field current. So power factor can be changed by changing its field current. If field current is less than the rated value, it runs at lagging power factor. If more than normal value, it runs as leading power factor. Motor can also made at unity power factor by changing the field excitation. Torque developed is proportional to applied voltage, so motor can withstand much variation in voltage. It can withstand large overloads and has quite a large or high efficiency. Scarge motor. So students, this Scarge motor is called brush shifting motor, in which power factor correction and speed control both are available. So by shifting the position of the brush, we can easily change its power factor or correct the power factor, and also we can adjust the speed. Both variation can be done by the help of shifting the brushes. This is an inverted wound rotor induction motor, in which rotor winding is connected in star or delta in the primary winding. Now, when we supply 3-phase through slip rings, this or the motor passes shunt, speed, torque characteristics and is used only when adjustable speed is required. As for driving paper, making machineries, printing press, textile work, it also is employed in lift, pump, belt, conveyors due to high starting torque. Such motors are built in sizes up to 400 horsepower. Now single phase induction motor. Now it consists of a similar to a polyphase induction motor, except the stator is provided with single phase winding and the speed torque characteristics are the same as that of the 3-phase induction motor. The only difference is that there is no self starting torque. Now repulsion motor. In this type of motor, the construction of this motor is similar to series motor, except in series with stator. The operating characteristics of repulsion motor is similar to those of series motor, that is high starting torque and high speeds at light loads. Its speed can be adjusted by shifting the brushes with the help of a special lever mechanism provided on motor. Universal motor. So students, in the by the use of this universal motor, it is a series wound motor which operates at approximately the same speed and output of either DC or AC of approximately same volt. The characteristics of motor is similar to those of DC series motor. The motor built up in fractional horsepower are up to 1/4 HP or 250 horsepower. These are suitable for sewing machine, table fan, vacuum cleaners, portable drills, hair dryers, cooler pumps, small blower, etc. Now the starting characteristics. The starting torque exerted by a motor should be large enough to accelerate the motor and load to the rated speed in a reasonable short time. Some motors may have to start against full load torque. Example, motor driving grinding mills or oil expellers. In case of lifts, hoist and haulage cranes, the motor have to start frequency with high acceleration. At the time of starting a motor, two types of torque comes into play. So during starting, these two kinds of torque are usually come into action. So what are these two torques? The torque required to overcome the static friction and the torque necessary to accelerate the motor and its load to the desired speed. Starters are used for starting purpose to limit the starting current within the reasonable limit, and also the requestee to start torque or starting torque is developed. Now DC motor. In a DC motor, armature current is given by Ia is equal to V minus Ia V minus EB by Ra, where V is the supply voltage, E is the induced EMF in armature, Ra is the armature resistance. So this is a very important relation, which is Ia is equal to V minus E by Ra. Already in your machine classes, I think you must have learned about it. So I am highlighting it once more. Yes, this is the relation. Ia is equal to V minus E divided by Ra. Now, as the motor is at rest, the induced EMF E is in the armature is 0, since E is proportional to N. Consequently, if full voltage is applied across the motor terminal, the armature will draw heavy current because Ia is equal to V divided by Ra. Because armature resistance is relatively small, the armature current is relatively 20 to 30 times of that of the full load current. This heavy current has the following effects. So what are these effects of this heavy current? Let us understand. It will blow out the fuses, and prior to that it may damage the armature winding due to excessive heating effect. Now excessive voltage drop will occur in the lines to which the motor is connected. Thus, to avoid the heavy current at start, a variable resistance is connected in series with the armature called starting resistance or starter. In case of shunt motor, torque developed at the time of starting is proportional to full load torque. But in case of DC series motor, since phi is also proportional to I, so starting torque is proportional to square of full load current before saturation and proportional to armature current after saturation. This is the reason why series motor is more suitable for heavy duty starting than shunt motor. Now in our next class, student, we will discuss about induction motor, that is slip ring induction motor. We will also discuss about your other motors such as your starting of squirrel cage induction motor, and then of course we will discuss about stator resistance starter, auto transformer starting with their connection diagram. Already these things are in your practicals also, so go through the video, make a clear notes, and of course ask your doubts if you have any. So with this, there is also capacitor starting also, so we will discuss all those things in our upcoming class. Thank you students for watching.